because if you miss some paperwork, then it can definitely end up costing you a lot of money. Hey, what's up? It's Michael. During this video, I'm going to teach you how to flip houses. Now, this is a novice video, so this is for somebody who is thinking about getting into flipping houses, or maybe you got your feet wet and you're just kind of dabbling it just a little bit. Well, during this video, I'm going to take you from A to Z to tell you exactly the steps that you need to take, and then if there's something you want me to dive deeper on, just comment below and just say, hey Michael, can you clarify on this specific step, and I'll be more than happy to shoot a video on that for you. So the very first step you want to do is team building. You want to locate a good realtor, and specifically a realtor who has experience in flipping houses and has deals with other wholesalers, so whenever they have leads come in, they'll bring them to you first. I highly recommend, being that you're new, be patient during this process. When my wife and I first even considered flipping houses, we read the book by Robert Kiyosaki, and it was like, real estate's where it's at. And so what we did is we found a realtor, and then we just went and looked at different properties to start to familiarize ourselves with how the layouts worked and what to look for, and understanding the components that would go into making that house resell. So when you locate a good realtor and they have experience in flipping houses, they will give you the information that you need to know, like understanding the ARV of a property, which is the after repair value. So you got a house that the ARV is $150,000, but it's selling for $100,000, meaning that so you could buy it for $100, and if you put X dollars into it, the resale would be $150,000. So the trick in buying a house is you want to have a high ARV but a low purchase price. The next thing you want to do is you want to start really building out other key players that you're really going to need, which is interior designers. I use interior designers for all my renovations just because they can look at the dimensions like of a bathroom and understand, okay, vanity goes here, toilet goes here, especially if you're doing redesigns and you're really trying to bring up the property. If you're redesigning kitchens, they can lay out the kitchen and give you a design, and all you have to do is take that to your cabinet designer and they will print off the cabinets or make the cabinets to the specs that your designer gives you. And then also when you hire a contractor, you give them that design which has all the measurements of locations of where the toilet goes, where the vanity goes, or the cabinets. And it will break down all the steps, so you don't have to be in there trying to answer those questions. So it saves you a lot of time there in the beginning. The next thing you want to do is you want to start filling out contractors. There's multiple types of contractors, and there's hundreds of thousands of them. So there's two types of contractors. There's a contractor that is a jack of all trades. Usually he's a one-man show. So that means that he is not going to be an expert in any specific area, but he can get everything done for you. It won't be the best quality, and sometimes with those guys the price varies, but most of the time you can get a lower in price because they're doing all the work themselves, and they know, like, oh, putting in a light bulb, $5, and so they'll bid it lower. But you have your second types of contractors who have a whole team of contractors underneath them, or independent contractors, or maybe they even have employees. That GC will add a percent to what those contractors are actually charging. Typically with these guys, you're going to get better quality. It's going to be faster because they have a team of people, but most of the time they're going to be over your budget. So it's a matter of just filling out different contractors. You're going to want to talk to a bunch of contractors and make sure that you have a good team, someone that you like and trust. And I always preach the 3 points of contact. So you find them, you have a conversation, you do a phone call, you have a conversation, and then you actually, whether you meet them at lunch or ideally you would meet them on a property. So you have 3 points of contact with this contractor, and if they show up each time and they're professional each time, then that's a good sign you got a good contractor. A lot of investors go out and find one contractor and they get in trouble because they didn't do their research on them, and something crazy ends up happening. So the next thing you want to do is you want to find where the money's going to come from. lenders, hard money lenders, where that's a partnership with like another investor. You want to figure out where your finances are. If you have a bunch of money in the bank, then don't worry about it. But if you don't have a lot of money, then you might want to consider maybe partner up with somebody on your first flip, or get a hold of a hard money lender. The interest is pretty high, but they give you the money for the house and they give you the money for the renovation, and so that'll keep you funded during the renovation project. So that's it for the team building process. The next thing that's really important is looking at properties and determine like how much it's going to cost to actually fix that up. And so I have a bunch of tricks that I can help teach you, so you can do some like quick math. They're not the most accurate way of doing it, but it's just a way to kind of gauge numbers and get an idea of like, okay, this property will be $15,000 in renovation. I'm buying a property for $100,000. The ARV is $150,000, and so forth. So then you can start working up numbers. Again, you want to be patient during this process and go look at several houses. My wife and I, we looked at a bunch of houses before we even thought about flipping any. We wanted to make sure we were comfortable going in houses and looking at different designs. We went to new construction, old construction, really old houses, tore down houses, war zone houses. We looked at all of them just to get familiar with the market, especially in our area. So the other thing, you want to master renovation. And the way you master renovation is understand the 3 different phases of a project. There's the planning phase, there's the project management phase, and then there's the closing phase. Each part is so important, critically important, and can be devastating to your business if you miss one of these steps. And so this is actually what I teach. This is what I've mastered in. I've done over 1,000 renovations, and each renovation, doesn't matter if it's $1,000 renovation or if it's $1 million renovation, there's always these 3 steps that go into play. And so that is an overview on how to flip houses. Is you want to build your team, you want to master your estimates and get really good at estimating your numbers, and then also master renovation. And so if you master those 3 things, the sky is the limit when it comes to flipping houses. So if you're getting value from this, just comment below value, and if there's something you want me to elaborate more on or become a little bit more clear, give you more information on, I'm more than happy to film another video and put it up just so you can dig in all the information and learn everything that you need to learn. And weekly, I'm putting up tips and tricks that I do during our renovations that will help you during your renovation process. So go ahead and dig in some of those videos and start learning different tricks and little simple things that I do that can make a big difference and save you thousands of dollars in mistakes. One thing I can give you right now that I have is contractors. When you hire contractors, there is actually a bunch of paperwork that you need to get from a contractor before you hire them. Below, I'm giving you a free PDF that you can download and have this cheat sheet. So when you hire a contractor, you just go right out that cheat sheet, ask them all the questions. It's real simple to follow, but this one cheat sheet can save you thousands of dollars in taxes, because if you miss some paperwork, then it can definitely end up costing you a lot of money. So that's in the description. Just click the link and then you go over to another page, put your email in, and I will email that over to you, little cheat sheet for you. Again, just comment below if you have some questions, if you want to dive deeper onto this, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye.